Everybody, welcome back to Kings at the Table, your Kings at the Table. And if you have missed any episodes, we're on episode 11. You can go back, check them out if you haven't already done so. Please like, follow, and subscribe. And as you're watching this episode, comment. Leave us comments. Let us know what you think. Tonight, we are joined by the one and only Candidly Said, an Atlanta-based influencer and content creator. So glad that you are here, giving us a nice matte look compared to the usual glossy look that we get. We love it. We're glad that you're here. Glad that you made some time to join us. It is not necessarily meant to be funny. It's just meant to be true. That's what Scorpios give. We give the truth. And also joining us is our producer, Tiago Puego. Did I say it right? Puego? Pego. Tiago Pego is here with us as well. And really wanted Tiago to be on the couch at the table because we're talking about something that he has a lot of experience with. We're going to start off. This is a busy week, and we have a full deck, starting right off with what's happening with the Essence Festival. Essence Festival made big news throughout 2025 because of a lot of reasons that we're going to talk about. But right now, it's making news in 2026 because of unpaid bills, about $1 million to Black vendors who have supported this event, and about $426,000 owed to venues. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts around what's happening with Essence and Essence Festival?
I think most of the time issues with payments come from one, obviously budgeting, but I think in this case is being able to scale. They've been very popular over the years, but sometimes you are so focused on the growth and what's the next step that you don't plan out the growth properly. So when I was producing a queer festival, over the years we scaled every year 150% from the previous year.
I mean, that's a large margin though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot of growth.
So, but with that, I didn't increase programming per se, but I increased capacity based on margins. So ticket sales, if we hit this, we already have a backup plan for this amount of tickets, or we have a way to make the venue bigger, or we have more seats available. But most of the time you are basing on what you did previously, that sometimes you can't foresee what's going to happen the next year, right? Like, I think what really happened is that they expected a big amount of people in last minute, and these people did not show up.
No, they didn't show up, and there's a lot of buzz as to maybe why they didn't. Wanting to be very clear in my facts, it was an actual amount. They are owed $406,000. The Ernest M. Memorial Convention Center in New Orleans. That is what is owed, in addition to $1 million to a variety of different vendors.
They made a payment of $50,000.
Yeah. They made $50,000 to bring that $456,000 down. Essence Festival has been a part of the Black community for about 30 years. I've gone to Essence Festival back in the day. I used to go to Essence Festival if there was going to be a Destiny's Child or Beyonce at the festival, Zachary Kirk's black ass was at the festival. I was able to see Prince at the festival. I've seen some great performances. Erykah Badu at the festival. I haven't gone in years, and probably won't be going back. I'm wondering, will there even be an Essence Festival? Say, what are your thoughts?
I think that these types of things need governance, and I think, to Tiago's point, people don't really know how to govern these types of festivals or these types of movements that kind of grow bigger than the idea itself. And I think that if I had any type of like constructive criticism for Essence Fest, it would be that if we're preaching empowerment on stage, right, and if this is a platform to amplify Black voices and to magnify the excellence that is Black, right, then we can't practice disorganization behind the scenes. Like, we have to be
excellent in all that we do.
Excellent in all that we do in front and behind the stage. So I'm interested to see how they rectify this. And I don't know that it will be rectified.
Correct. That's what I'm thinking.
In a short, because I mean, Essence Fest usually takes place around my birthday.
No,
so
yeah,
usually
Essence Fest is
end
the
of July.
4th. It's the weekend of July the 4th every year.
Yeah.
It's that same time frame. It's been that way historically, and they haven't even announced a lineup, and it's about to be March. Like, yeah, I don't see this happening. I don't see Essence Fest happening in 2026. Not at the level that it's happened in the past.
Yeah, I think there's another issue that I think it's greater than the financial issue, because if they have the right people and they put enough time to sort things out and make deals, everybody who they owe already said that they're willing to work with them to pay. I think that's the least of their issues in order to keep this going. I think that one thing that the internet keeps talking about is how this is not Black American centered anymore.
Yeah, that is something that's being said.
And I wonder from you guys, I'm not considered Black, so I
obviously.
Well, I think that you're considered to be Afro-Brazilian,
you're Afro.
Tiago, which is a part of the diaspora, and which
Right.
would be a part of this big, broad conversation, because you would fall on the other side of the spectrum.
But they amplify.
but all of the comments and all of the negative feedback they're not even talking about Latinos at this point. They're literally focused on the amount of influence of Black Africans in SS Fest. I don't know if you've read, if you've seen videos.
That's a part of the conversation.
And I was like, I wonder from your perspective, because the way you mentioned, like, highlighting Black voices, you do see value in all Black voices, but was the purpose of Essence Fest just for Black American voices?
I think initially,
you can answer first. I have a lot to say, and I'll say it after you go.
Okay.
I'm going to say a lot. I'm going to have a lot to say.
I've watched there's a beautiful documentary on Essence and the building of that magazine. I think initially Essence was a beauty magazine that brought a certain voice to distinctive Black women who were career women, but who also had a knack for beauty and fashion and makeup and all of these things.
That is
and so I
correct.
think that it emerged from that. And of course, as it grew and as investors came into play and as it became the national magazine that it is, it broadened its spectrum and its audience. But I think originally, yes, the intention was for it to be catered to Black Americans, specifically Black women.
No,
Black
it was
American
meant
women.
for
Okay.
I love how you said distinctive Black women. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But so in this conversation, I want to say that there are two different parts and prongs to it. So in 2018, I think that's the year, Time Inc. sold Essence Magazine to the owner of Shea Moisture. I think that's what the brand, the actual company is called. His name is Rich Lou Dennis, and he is I want to say maybe Nigerian, maybe Ghanaian, but he is from the motherland, the continent, and but people who are saying that the challenges that Essence is facing now are because of leadership, I don't think that's fair, because he's been leading this since 2018. Now, he did have a different creative director, and I think they could put some blame on her. She was connected to Target. Wayne Garrow, I think is her name. And when I look at Wayne Garrow, she's a very bold, beautiful woman, but I wouldn't let no cartoons be running shit I do. So, I mean, I'm just sorry. Like, her style, her look, when I see that, like, it looks like...
You're insane.
When I see her look, I do not see someone I would let run my business. And I know that's not appropriate to say, and I apologize in goddamn advance. I don't think that this is... And also going back with it, I think that the issues came in here in a multiple number of ways. It is centered on not understanding your core audience, but it's not that you don't understand the core audience of Black Americans, although they felt left out. So that means you offended them. You did not understand how to cater to them. But the reality is typically people, the members of the diaspora don't have issues unless they're manufactured and created issues. And people from all parts of the African diaspora as well as our brown brothers and sisters and white allies, have always gone to and enjoyed Essence. It has never been an issue. So I just don't think I think that minimizes and simplifies a complicated issue. And there were some things that they highlighted, like, jambalaya versus jollof rice, things that they tried to do to make this more of an inclusive event that kind of took it away from it. They went very heavy on the global marketing.
I also think, too, in the most recent years, more specifically, I would say after COVID, the quality of the festival has rapidly declined. Like, people have been talking about, the performances, the sound with the performances, going to see their favorite artists, the schedules not being aligned with what they're putting out and advertising.
All of that.
So it was just a mess already. So I think they soured their brand in terms of how good the experience was.
Thinking that was going to be enough. And they didn't really maintain the level of
quality
of of even performers who were going to give you what we wanted from Essence. And again, let's make no mistake about it, they also continue their partnership with Target. Target sat here and shopped around to a number of Black businesses, Black vendors, Black organizations, trying to get them to go against the Black community and our commitment to boycott the bullshit that they are. And I know several organizations that they reached out to, because I've been fortunate enough to work with them, and they've been very transparent in saying that Target approached us and we turned the money down. But Essence didn't turn the money down. So to be honest with you, whatever punishment the ancestors, the Black American and those from the diaspora, levy against the Essence Festival people, you fucking deserve it for staying in bed with the bullshit that is Target Incorporated.
I think
Target goes
usually
to
events
or send Target my ass to kiss.
Yeah, you go to Target often. You can do that for him.
I actually don't.
That's good. We applaud you for hopefully what you claim has been a 5-month hiatus. So he claims.
Girl, go to hell.
And I will see Target there.
Usually events and different brands, they have a lot of difficulty with scaling because they forget what allowed them to scale or how they got there. And one of the things that, as now I do mostly branding and marketing for others, with the agency, I always have noted in the beginning of every call with all other clients is, how did you start and how did you get popular enough for you to be wanting to scale this now? Because you need to stay truthful to that. And most of the time, they always forget the first steps or what the first things were, because they just see dollar signs or they just see the growth and forget that is how they started is the most important piece of how to scale. And if they have to jeopardize the quality, which is what you were talking about, maybe they should put a limit on tickets until they can figure out how they can maintain quality. They should put create ways to keep your essence, the essence of your event and your festival.
Pun intended.
Yes.
Pun intended. And to keep it and to maintain it and kind of where we are. When you talk about maintaining, Essence Fest, we're also talking about maintaining relationships. And that's something that Stefon has not been able to do. Talking specifically about Stefon Diggs. That has been a huge blow up this past week in terms of celebrity news, royalty, and what he has going on with, how many baby mamas?
I think it's like, what, 5?
I think it's at least 4 baby mamas.
4 or 5.
Cardi B being one of the most recent. I think he had like 2 this year alone.
Yes.
Concurrent, which is, fine how he chooses to live.
With that big old badonka down.
How he chooses to live his life. Cardi B is on tour. She launched this past week her, drama.
Yeah.
I Am the Drama tour. And she's actually been kind of talking about it, throwing digs and shots. It's been kind of captivating social media since the Super Bowl. And I just want to know from you guys, what are your thoughts here?
I
And I can
about
actually,
Stefon.
Stefon, Cardi B, all the drama, and I can actually kind of start off and go first and say this. Look, I'm never, ever fucking around with a Sagittarius again.
Oh no,
Again,
they'll drag
under no
you. Look at what
circumstance.
Jay-Z did to Beyonce.
I'm never doing that. Like, I'm never doing. They will embarrass the fuck out of you in public. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not Stefon. Yes, Stefon Diggs is a Sagittarius, but so is Offset. Now, if you're wondering how Offset comes, this is rumored. This is rumored. It was rumored that Offset cheated on Cardi B with a girl named Pre. That was the rumor. It is rumored that the young lady that Offset got front row tickets to see him play in the Super Bowl was also named Pre. It's rumored that it's the exact same girl that somehow Offset convinced this side chick to become Stefon Diggs' side chick to cause further harm and damage to Cardi B and greater hurt. For him to turn around Offset and then send her hundreds of balloons on Valentine's Day in an effort to win back the love of his life. All of that makes me say, ain't no goddamn way I'm fucking with a Sagittarius.
No. I had an god-awful, incredibly devastating experience with a Sagittarius man.
God awful.
Yes. And I told him that he was a disappointment to humanity.
Oh, wow.
As we move forward to talk about Stefon, though, Cardi and Stefon welcomed a son in November, and they split shortly thereafter. He is 32 years old. He lost the Super Bowl. Sad.
It's not fair to say that Stefon Diggs lost the Super Bowl. He was on the losing team. The Patriots lost the Super Bowl. Stefon Diggs could not have been the sole reason they lost.
I love
Poor
this.
Stefon.
Why would you kill my thunder like that?
Right.
But he lost the fucking Super Bowl. Okay, because he cheated on Cardi. And that's what happens when these no good trifling ass niggas think that they can go and get any bitch that has a post pregnant and disrespect black women or Afro Latino women.
No, I do. I think I agree. I feel bad for Cardi B. Thiago, I mean, do you feel bad for her or no?
No.
Of course he doesn't.
No, I don't feel bad. I feel like people care too much about what others choose to do with their lives. Like, move on, girl.
I don't think she cared that much, to be honest.
Oh my
Like,
God.
why is she mentioning all of this in shows? Like,
She's healing in real time.
Diggs has fathered 5 other kids with 5 other women, according to Page Clicks.
right. He had a past. Like, she knew who she was with. You being surprised and upset, I guess so. But there's a past in the history. You know, like, she's what, the 6th or the 5th? Exactly.
She's the 5th. She's the 5th.
Yes, exactly. There was
I
other
plead the
4. You know, like I don't know. I'm too focused on
If you
my
need
life.
a man, let's play a scenario. Let's play a game.
Let's play a game.
Okay.
Okay, say it.
If your name is Sally and Sally meets John and John has 4 other baby mamas, and you come in and Sally decides that she's gonna be with John and she's gonna be the 5th baby mama, what makes Sally not question?
We clearly hear you tapping that. It sounds
sorry.
like a massive boom.
Oh, okay, well that's what I wanted it to be. What makes Sally think that John won't mollywop her ass like he did the other 4 baby mamas?
Point intended.
So, I mean, Cardi, sister, make wiser choices. And, you know, if I could give any piece of advice to you as your residential honest gay, I would tell you to give your coochie a break and to sit down and get your money and fuck these niggas.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to give no coochie a break, but just like
She don't have damn 3 kids, damn 2-3 kids
yeah,
in the
sure.
last.
Just if she wants to have kids, that's not the point. The
She
point,
has kids that are 7, 4, and 1. She can
Yeah,
give her coochie a break.
baby, have as many children you want. I just don't think that it's worth to be sad about somebody else's choices within their own lives that they have been making throughout the years. It like you can't be surprised by this, and also because she's like defending or talking about it. I'm like, you already knew all of this. Why is this a topic?
Thiago, as our resident, non-monogamous, as our, expert on all things in the world of
Non-monogamy.
of ethical non-monogamy. Do you think that more straight people should embrace the concept of non-monogamy? Well, you think that will lead to them being maybe happier and more fulfilling relationships?
That's interesting.
I mean, if they at least talked about it more openly, they would focus more on their journey rather than somebody else's journey, and that would lead to less conflict like these, because it's maybe they would have stayed together. Maybe he just wanted to have sex.
You think she would have stayed with him if they were in an ethical non-monogamous relationship and he wouldn't have got another bitch pregnant?
I don't think he
What
would.
if he
I
violated
don't even think he would
rules
want to.
of their relationship?
You know, like, I think the whole point of like these cheating guys is the thrill to do it and maybe get caught or not. That's why they keep doing it. It is a feeling. If that feeling is taken away, like, all right, go have sex with who you want, you're most likely you're not doing it. Some people do want to have more sex with other people, but some people just do it for the thrill or for the emotions of it. It has nothing to do with like you're not satisfying the other partner. So I do think people should be more open about talking about their sexual desires. If that is his kink to cheat.
And that's a real kink. Like, some people truly have a cheating kink that turns them on.
Maybe it's not a kink. Like,
no, it's a real. No, that's a real thing.
But I want to use the word kink because what?
No, it is a kink. Some people are
Makes no
turned
sense
on
to
by
me.
cheating or being cheated on, or by cheating on, like, being the person that does the I'm stealing your man or I'm stealing your woman. Like, it turns them on. It's like an exciting thrill.
It's an
that they
exhausting conversation. Don't like my man could you this, my man wants you. Like, girl, relax. Let this man go. If you want to go, sir, go. You want to
Go.
stay? Stay. Come back for dinner, please.
If you ain't gonna let your man cheat in peace, shut the hell up. And that's all I got to say about it.
A wise man once said. A wise man once said. So, it's always great to kind of get the more lighthearted stuff out there before we go into something very heavy and possibly very, very sad. And we're talking about the SAVE Act. This has ran through the United States House of Representatives, already passed the House, is now in the Senate. And the SAVE Act is a Republican piece of legislation that did have a Democrat in the House vote for it. Recently, Pardon Kruger of Texas, who did indeed vote for this bill that's going to put on extreme requirements regarding ID. Under the SAVE Act, your license, what I've always used to vote, is no longer an acceptable form of ID. Even the real license with the star that has gotten you everywhere you go now is not acceptable to cast a ballot in the United States under the SAVE Act if this becomes law. And they're pushing hard to make it happen. It's going to disenfranchise millions of Americans and stop them from being able to vote. In order to vote, you would have to have some piece of ID that literally says you are born in the United States. And right now that results in really mainly two things: your birth certificate, which very few Americans may still have, or a passport. And when you look at some states, very few people actually have passports, like states like Wyoming, Utah, Mississippi, Arkansas. So, gentlemen, this is something that very few people are talking about, especially in the black and brown communities. What are your thoughts on this? What can we do? Or should we even do anything about it? Or do we support this? Are we all for it?
I think they are very successful in being confusing everybody. Because at the same time they're asking for these things, they're also enabling people to make passports. They are extending the time period or time frame for people who do request. They used to be able to order passports from libraries, and now that's gone.
That's gone. By design. So I want to make sure that people, again, because there hasn't been a lot of people aren't talking about this. Content creators haven't really jumped on this to make content to educate the public around it. The media can't be trusted. They don't do shit, but echo Trump's talking points. He owns half the motherfucking media world when his damn supporters like CBS gone to fucking hell. TikTok sold out. When you talk about the passports and stuff changed, they fired the majority of the passport offices and people who were employed, they fired them under Doge because this was always a part of their plan to be able to take over control of American elections.
And which is crazy because if the average American travels no more than 300 miles from their house, and the majority is only 50 miles from their address in their lifetime, why would you believe that these people would even think about passports?
They know you don't have one. They know the majority of Americans don't have a passport, and they don't want them to have one. They don't want them to vote.
And then
that's the point. The point is to have fewer people vote and to privilege what would be their target audience. They think that the people with passports are going to lean Republican, and most of them probably do.
And
they probably do. Yes. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Just to conclude the point of they're very good at confusing people, and they do so much crazy things simultaneously that a lot of things get falling to the cracks. Like the people who also own passports are folks who are naturalized, right? Because they have to
have it, yeah.
Right. So they're unnaturalizing.
That's right, in the process.
Because
so
in the same process
born in the United States,
that they want you to vote with a passport, they're actively disnaturalizing people. Do you know what that
is?
Even,
it's meaning that you are a naturalized United States citizen, but you're no longer allowed to participate in the United States elections. That's what it means.
They're removing access.
They're doing that on purpose.
They're removing access.
So they know the majority of people don't have the passport. The people who do have the passport are immigrants. They're making them illegal.
Correct.
So they can actively incarcerate them.
It's all a part of the process, and so it has to. So then it becomes a point of this has to fail, but is it going to?
No, I don't know that it will. I don't know that it will fail. I think the only way it'll fail is if there's noise made about it, which is I'm sure was your point of bringing it up today, so that people can make noise about it. But I think that a lot of times these policies can sound neutral in their language, but they're anything but that once they actually are pushed into legislation and actually are passed. And I don't know that people are recognizing that there's so many folks attached and connected to them that are going to be burdened by this. I saw this actually when it first came out.
Does your mom have a passport?
Yes. Everyone in my family has a passport.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. But
no one in my family.
We're well traveled.
No one in my family has a passport but me. Not one single Kirk. No one.
No one?
No one.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think I'm the only person in my family who's been on the plane.
The Dow has dropped $50,000
right,
in the words of Pam Bondi.
Yeah, I'm the only person in my family who has flown on a plane.
Yeah, it's
the only one. So none of them will be voting.
What the fuck?
I think how they're doing, like with the controlling media and buying internal social media, like they're doing with TikTok and all these things.
Yeah.
People are by the time they notice what is happening, or there is a reaction to everything, it will be irreversible. Like the dollar, the dollar has fallen. Its price in the market
in value.
I forgot the percentage now, but it has been the lowest in the past 10 years. It has fallen the most in the past 4 years.
Consistently dropped. Yes.
So in other countries like China specifically, they have now a nickname for Trump, which is he is lifting up China by creating all of this, because there's the only other place that can take the United States first place is China, and they're doing so. They are part of BRICS. They've closed deals with India. They closed deals with Italy. They don't have visas anymore. They have scholarships for all of the other countries. You can apply to study for free there. They have work programs for Gen Z and professionals. Like they're doing all of the things that America is doing in reverse.
Exactly as Kamala Harris said when she said, we won't go back. We have gone back. And we're going back further and further every single day with these bills. People are sitting here upset about Democrats not being willing to say abolish ICE, which I think they should be saying abolish ICE. But the reality is the whole entire shutdown that's going to happen because Democrats didn't approve further DHS funding will not have any impact on ICE because that was decided back when the one big beautiful bill got passed. Americans aren't paying attention and they're just not aware of all the things that are happening legally that's costing them their future. People don't realize that everything can change with the stroke of a pen. People were put in concentration camps because of laws. People were put into slavery because of laws. Those laws can be reinstituted and put right back on the books. That's all on the table because anything can be made legal by law. And that's why it's so important for people to vote. I think, we have to do something about it. I agree with what you said. There's not a whole, what can we do? Probably nothing. But I think that we have to put pressure on lawmakers. But as I've said in every episode, probably of the entire show, it falls on Republicans and what they're willing to do and not do.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're doing enough to put pressure on them or if we're pressuring them in the right way.
Well, Pam Bondi said that the Dow dropped $50,000. I didn't even know the Dow had dollars. I thought it was points. So if there is any indication of how fucking doomed we are being led by idiots, Trump being the biggest of one.
Yeah, it's going to get
one of
much
the biggest.
worse before
it gets any better.
It gets much. Oh yeah, I'm fully convinced that he wants to completely destabilize and completely eradicate the middle class, so that which we know that is should be true. I mean, there's either poor or the rich, and the rich are going to get richer, and the poor will get even poorer. Which I don't think that people think that poor Americans can get poorer, but they can. They can become more poor. It's possible.
They're right now.
Yeah, it's possible.
And sicker.
Yes.
Because a number of people that are being affected by the higher increase or the rise of health insurance, a lot of people I know, who are independent content creators and people who are doing this for
they can't
full-time,
afford it.
they just said they don't have health insurance anymore. They just let it go.
Yeah.
Mind you, in the middle of this,
and a lot of people in corporate America are moving to freelance jobs because it's so hard to get a consistent salary job. But as someone who's worked as a contract worker in the corporate space and as a freelancer, you don't get health benefits. And if you don't get health insurance or any type of medical benefits, but if you do, the price for them is astronomical. So it's anybody who operates in that space of being an individual contractor or freelancer or anything like that who simply, unless they're bringing in big bucks, they cannot afford to even have basic necessities.
The basics, and that isn't. This is new. This is a return to an America of the 90s or 2000s. This was not the reality for a lot of young people who are like your age and a little bit older, like who've been used to being able to have more than enough by doing and using their talents and their skills, and they've lost all of that in a 2-year time span. They've lost it all. Mm-hmm. And the question now becomes, is Pastor TD McNutt going to lose his child that's not really even his child?
His last name is really McNutt?
Yeah, this is
a
pastor.
Being funny.
This is a pastor out of Florida, Pastor TD McNutt. And he's gone viral because his 15-year-old son was, the social media says, forced or coerced to give an apology to him. The son accused him of abuse, of harming him physically, and he made a video where the child looked like he was under duress, but they said it wasn't, to make an apology, say how great of a father that he was. So this has hit social media. I think it's definitely kind of what we're talking about. I did a little bit of research on it and found out this is not this man's biological child.
Yeah, no.
I'm still very confused about the parentage of the child. Now, is a child the man's cousin? Like, it's a cousin's child?
I think he's raising
Or is it his child by his cousin? Like, I'm very confused. A lot of things started to just really bother me about the situation.
Well, but also, let's start here. I don't trust religious people at first. As soon as you say you're Christian, I'm already not interested.
I was right there on Sunday at the altar. I was down there praying. I was the last one to get up. I prayed so hard. I said, thank you, Jesus.
Get on your knees, babe. But I truly what? Yeah, as soon as you talk about you're Christian and
Jesus.
those are your values,
the Lord.
like I'm already on the edge with you.
It gives you red flags.
Yes.
Really?
100%.
Tiago, my
Maybe
Christianity,
1,000 if there
Tiago,
was
my
possible.
Christianity gives you
I
red
love
flags.
God. You don't love
What is a
God?
red flag that my Christianity has raised?
Not yours, Christianity in general.
Okay.
Yeah, Christianity in general has proven to be cruel, to be
institution.
malicious.
The institution.
Yeah, like, just in general. So as soon as you tell me you're a
You can't
pastor,
generalize it.
correct, I am.
But it's okay.
you
It's
can't,
okay
though.
to generalize
well, I
because
can't, but
we
I
do
just did, and
generalize.
I will continue
we
doing it.
do. Like you generalize a little bit. We won't
There's
go into.
more-
We cut that shit.
There's
But
more
It's okay.
Christian
Tiago,
people
to,
who do bad things in the name of the God that they believe than good Christians. Like,
But
this
they're
just
not
ridiculous.
true Christians, and that's
That
the
doesn't
difference
matter.
that we try to
That's the
emphasize.
name.
People
It's been-
take a concept and they pervert the concept, and they do great harm in the name of the concept. But real Christians live their life according to the very basic and simple teachings of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm
very
yet
simple.
to meet them. But
You meet one every Tuesday right here, like
Yeah.
every Tuesday.
that's cool.
That's what centers and grounds me. It makes me
The Bible.
Again, I wasn't born to be a nice person. Like I can't, like what Megan Thee Stallion say, happy birthday, Meg. She had a birthday this week. Bitch, I'm not
So
nice.
you are to say that you follow the Bible. Is that what you're
The
saying?
Bible is a guide, but it is not a literal translation of the teachings of
Of the
Jesus Christ.
teachings of
In
Jesus
the
Christ,
Bible that has been transcribed thousands upon thousands of times are core tenets and teachings.
Okay.
I follow to the law the core teachings, and that are universal laws.
So you have
But
Christian
surprise,
values.
surprise, those
have
same
Christian values.
I have a Christian faith, and also that is grounded in a theology, which is the religion, the United Methodist Church, and the teachings of John Wesley, the founder of the church, who laid out things and explained very complicated concepts like grace and salvation and how you gain it and how you backslide, possibly lose it, and how the perseverance of the saints continues because of the goodness inherent inside of you. All of that
Praise
is
the Lord, Zach.
all of that is a foundation of my belief system.
What do you believe?
But just to stay on track.
You don't believe anything? Are you atheist? Agnostic.
No, I don't know the second word, but but I'm not atheist.
Agnostic means that you believe that there's something there. You just don't have a particular faith or religion that you subscribe to.
Yeah, I don't.
Atheist means you don't believe in anything at all.
No, I don't. I don't believe in religions. I think religions are ways
believe,
for
like,
us
in
to
a higher
make
power?
sense to life. I do think we are in a human experience
Yeah.
that I have said before. But just going back to this child,
Well, and the reason that you people feel the way you do, Tiago, that's
Yeah, that
very
makes
valid,
sense.
is that people possibly, like Pastor McNutt, Pastor McNutt has made people feel this way if what he's doing is damaging
Well, I
to a
have some
child.
facts about Pastor McNutt.
Give us, McNutts. Give us the facts of the Mc. Give us the
these
give us the McNutts facts.
Mac bitch. Just months after being arrested on charges of cruelty towards a child. So he's been arrested. He's been arrested on these charges of child cruelty before.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Same
so-
child.
No, different child.
Oh my God.
Okay. And so he did the controversial live Facebook broadcast. And what happened was, to be specific, he's the leader of a church called Transformation Empowerment Worship Center in West Palm Beach, Florida. Okay. He apparently was locked up on this particular arrested on December 3rd on this particular charge of child cruelty because the child, Cornando Gates, who was in that video, who is his foster child, came to school and school officials saw that he had allegedly bloody nose, busted lip, marks on the back of his arms, legs, and chest.
Oh my God.
So
That's abuse.
he with great
That's
bodily
evidence
harm.
of abuse.
That is the charge. Abuse without great bodily harm. Which I don't know. It should be. But it's a 3rd-degree felony according to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office records. So he posted a $5,000 bond and allegedly he's released. So it should be interesting to see what happens with this.
these Christian churches are the only place
Mm-mm.
on earth
Tell
that I
people.
believe that.
On earth?
Let me just finish the thought.
Girl, please.
Um,
Yeah, come
That
on now.
felons come in, they say they repent from their sins, and they allow these same folks, because they said that, and they, to subscribe to Jesus Christ, or however the words are in English, for him to follow that path and allow them to take care of children and pretend that this never happened. Nowhere else they would be able to get a job in a school. They would be able to be around kids by themselves, or even women who are also, femicides and all of these things. But people just take by the word that once you say, forgive me, Jesus, it's a clean slate. And these people have literally history doing these things, and it's overlooked because now they call themselves Christians.
So he has a history of like being a foster parent and being abusive, or allegations of abuse. And then there was physical evidence that the school looked at.
That they reported
all of that is
to
very
the police
concerning.
department.
In addition to the fact the child's eyebrows
and then
are
he was
arched.
released on a bond,
Forced
a
arched.
$5,000 bond the very next day after he was given these charges.
All that's very concerning.
It's extremely concerning, and I'm extremely worried. I'm disgusted. I'm physically disgusted by this.
That the system allowed the
child to go back, and I think it is a testament, as someone who grew up with friends who were in foster care, I think it's a testament to how the foster care system consistently disappoints these children who are misplaced, who oftentimes don't have on the inside, like behind closed doors, who don't have a safe place to lay their head, who aren't being fed, who aren't being taken care of properly, who are being mistreated, forced into sexual acts that no child should be forced into by people who have no overall concern of their true care, but just wants to benefit from the financial gain of being a foster parent, because there is a financial incentive that they receive. The more children you have per head, the more money you get.
And it's heartbreaking.
So it's fucked up. And I hate it for this young boy. And I hope that justice is served and that he really is given to a family of people that truly care about his well-being.
If these allegations, of course, are true, it is, and this is a pastor. This is a pastor, and Pastor McNutt, I think is Pastor McNutt, he married with his own kids, or just
Matt Beach married? Yeah.
Okay. And what does his wife say? Is his wife how he found her?
She's the nut.
She's the nut.
Yeah, he the bitch, she the nut.
Okay, he the Mac, she the nut.
Yeah,
to make the Mac, to make the Mac nuts. So, we're ready to go into our royal roast and to give our queen a crown. But before we do that, are there any other major topics or news stories that were breaking? We had the Olympics. This is the last week of the Olympics in the United States. We've had some great success stories. We've also had some heartbreaking losses. People are really sad about Ilian Milan, a 21-year-old American skater who busted that ass on the ice. He fell apart, and there's been one excuses as to why he didn't make it. So, I saw that. Anything else that we saw that we want to bring to the table before we clear the table?
No.
About the Olympics? No.
Any topics that maybe we didn't hit on?
I thought it was weird that about Bad Bunny. I thought it was weird that after the game, he completely disabled his Instagram, and nobody has heard from him since then.
He's on vacation.
Yeah, he's probably relaxing.
That was a very bit stressful.
Enjoying
he's
the
a
fruits of his
Pisces.
labor.
So one thing that I think,
he won all those Grammys, album of the year.
Yeah, Benito, that's very, very stressful. Back to back. He's a Pisces. His sign is not one of great labor. Okay, let's be honest about it. Like, no shade to Pisces. I actually like Pisces. That's what the fuck I need. That's what the fuck I need.
Putting out a PSA for a Pisces.
PSA. Let me tell you why. Come home and stay your ass at home and be happy. Because you don't want to work. You don't want to work. You just want to sit up here and feel good and dream all day. And that's what I need. I come home and there you are. Yeah, sit in your thoughts and romanticize life with me. So that's Pisces. When people talk about Rihanna is doing exactly what Rihanna worked hard. Rihanna gave you the best that she had to give you. And now she's enjoying the spoils of life. She is at home raising her kids, having great sex, eating great food, and being happy. She don't give a fuck about another album or any of that, because that's not who Pisces are. Virgos are wanting to be always industrious and always out there working. Pisces are very different. They want to chill, they want to rest, they want to be taken care of and want to be well taken care of. So Benito has worked hard, and he has to take breaks or he will not do well. And I'm not saying Benito is done working. He's going to continue to work, but if it was up to him, I will not be surprised that this man will disappear forever from public life and enjoy his life once he is at a point where he feels he can do that.
Okay. But you do think that your partner should be a Pisces?
I've always done very well with Pisces.
Yeah. Do you think, would you judge your partner by the sign too?
Me?
Yeah.
Nobody probably does that but me, and that's okay.
I have. I mean, it's not at the top of my mind, but I do take it into consideration at some point. I mean, I do think when it comes to astrology, though, there are some valid points. I mean,
Okay.
it is a generalization, but I do think that once you get specifically into your chart and you know what your rising is and
you
your
know
moon
your full
is and
stuff.
where what house your signs fall in,
Uh-huh.
there can be a great deal of accuracy and guidance that can help you figure out how to maneuver through life.
And
I
how
actually
things move,
I actually lean on my natal chart to bring clarity to a lot of things that I am anticipating, that I am trying to do.
And you do
Or
that to
that-
your dating life? Like, does that?
I'm not that methodical or analytical with it.
Uh-huh.
Would I be? If I liked them enough, maybe. But I ain't liked nobody in a really long time.
Okay.
Well, happy Valentine's Day, goddamn
It was Valentine's weekend.
It was. And so did you guys do Valentine? What we give Valentine?
I did not have a Valentine.
No Valentine.
I had a Galentine.
What was the
What
Galentine?
is a Galentine?
You know, my
Your-
sister, I got mad at my sisters for Galentine's. These hoes gonna post on the fucking TikTok, all over Facebook. Both of them, they had Galentine's. Both sisters,
So a
nieces, all these friends came together. I'm like, you hoes are whole ass married women. What the fuck? Galentine's is for single gals, right?
No.
Isn't Galentine for single gals?
What
Who
is a
said that?
Galentine?
That's how it started. No, Galentine started for single women to celebrate each other.
That's not true, Zach. Okay.
That's
so
the foundation of Galentine's.
I always no. So I understand it to be a holiday that, of course, it's an informal holiday, but it's a play on Valentine's Day where it honors female friendships.
Does it honor female friendships or does it
But it
honor
doesn't have to be
single?
single
I thought only
women.
the single friends could come
Well,
and do
I think
it.
at first it may have started like that, but
You see how y'all take anything and twist it up to be what y'all want it to be in
Yeah.
Gen
well,
Z?
I think it was just
Literally.
platonically female friendships.
Okay.
But you
I'm gonna
know, of
Google
course,
it.
then everyone took it on. So I had a Galentine with my best friend because I was out of town this weekend celebrating with some friends, and so we had Galentines.
Where did you guys go?
We went to Mobile, Alabama to celebrate
Oh.
Mardi Gras.
Ooh.
Okay.
To be fair
cute,
to
choice.
To be fair to Mobile, we know Mardi Gras in the United States for New Orleans, but it started in Mobile. That's the original home of the
Yes.
Mardi Gras. So I apologize for
big
going,
festival
ew.
there?
But Mardi
It's
Gras,
a big event there.
Mardi Gras
It's a
in
very-
Mobile is clean and white.
No, that is not true, Zach.
It's like
There were a large
It's like Colgate.
Okay.
Whereas
no.
in New Orleans, they give you that. What's
No,
that?
no, no,
what
no,
was
no,
that?
no.
Close up.
No,
Isn't that the one that
Zach,
give you that
no.
cinnamon burn?
Mardi
close
Mobile,
up.
Mobile.
Are these white friends?
No, they are
Mobile's
black.
very white.
His
Let-
friends are white too.
Damn,
I
shut
believe it.
up. Mobile Mardi Gras.
Were you in the
is-
bukkake?
Yeah, like it's
What is a
okay if you have a white
bukkake?
partner. We
What is
respect you.
that?
Google
no,
it.
I don't.
Continue. I'm sorry.
My
Cedric.
best. So one of my best friends is a black gay man, whom you know. He came to my birthday. He came to your birthday party with me.
Yeah, he's
from
very
Mobile.
handsome.
Yes, he's from Mobile, Alabama.
He didn't have to have a Galentine's. He could have had a Valentine's.
Was it going to be you?
Could have been.
I'll let him know that. Terrell, if you're watching this, Zach is, interested. But no, it was his hometown. He's from Mobile. There was a very large and loud and exuberant presence of African Americans there. I'll have you know.
That's good.
And yeah, we celebrated there. I just got back today.
And I stand corrected. I want the world to know because there's a myth that Zachary Kirk thinks he knows every fucking thing.
And you don't.
And I don't. And
Yeah.
and there's
You're
also a
very
myth
smart,
that
though.
I don't admit when I'm wrong, but I'm quick to admit it. I was wrong. Cedric was right about Galentine's.
Yes.
Galentine's started in 2010 on the television show Parks and Recreation, and it is a celebration of women and of female friendships, not whether you're single or married, but women in general. And I will apologize to my sisters who I call stupid hoes, and I will apologize to both of them. I'm sorry,
But yeah.
Jerry and Todd.
I don't know, but something tells me this may be my last year single.
I believe it will be because it's written in the stars.
Yeah.
It's written in the stars.
It is.
Tiago, as our resident married man on the couch at the table, what do we do? What did the married folks do on the Valentine's?
So we went to my favorite Brazilian restaurant.
Ooh, which one?
Fogo de Chao.
No,
Girl,
that is the
get your life.
whitewashed version
I
of
know,
Brazil.
I'm joking.
I want to say I do not support Fogo de Chao.
I just made a joke.
You won't meet Brazilians there.
No, I was joking. No one supports Fogo de Chao.
Like, why would you go to a restaurant that is for
gringos? Yeah.
for gringos? Like, no, girl, we're not doing this.
Oh, no, that's right.
Rio Steakhouse in Marietta
Ooh.
is absolutely
Sounds delicious.
my favorite.
I will be going.
It
Yeah, I'll
is-
try it.
Yeah.
It's also all you can eat because that's just like how we normally do restaurants in Brazil. And it's like maybe $35 if I'm not mistaken.
That's a good price.
It is so good.
And
It
so-
is truly Brazilian food. Like
Brazilian.
True Brazilian
Makes you
food.
feel like you're back at home.
No, because I cook amazing. You know, my flavor is my own.
Yeah.
But it is an amazing. It is really good. If you want to try Brazilian food in Georgia, I absolutely will.
No, we'll have to go. We'll have to pick a time and go early, maybe
let's
a
do
weekend.
that.
We'll have
Oh
a nice
yeah,
Brazilian
we could
lunch.
have lunch there.
Yeah, a
I
nice-
love
I would
it.
love
And then we
that.
went hiking because I like to hike.
Oh.
Felipe, I think he regrets to this moment allowing me to plan this because we did more exercise than he thought we would.
Oh,
So
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
you know, I as having
What did you do?
as having no Valentine, as having no
What?
official Valentine.
no,
I will say that it was actually extremely wonderful to kind of not even think about the day. Now, here's a really
you were by yourself Saturday the whole entire day.
Zach, you're such a fucking liar.
I was not alone
Okay.
on Saturday, but I did not necessarily have an official Valentine this year. And I enjoyed that because I didn't have to plan or, really do it or buy or all that. I care a lot about Valentine's Day. It's one of my favorite holidays, actually.
Really?
Yes, Valentine's Day is my favorite
So
holiday.
you ordered food?
Are you a lover boy?
I'm very much so.
Yeah, so that's
inside
why he
my-
stayed in, ordered food
inside my heart
with
But-
somebody.
But on a traditional Valentine's, I really go all out to make it very special, and it involves like all the traditional shit you probably see on TV. So it was really nice to not have to do any of that this year, and kind of act like it was just a regular day, and kind of was a regular day. And no, I wasn't alone. But the guest that I entertained wasn't planned. It was just like, oh, I would like to see you, and I was like, oh, sure. So it was.
Is
that's
that
what
like
it
your
was.
future husband kind of material?
There's potential there. It just depends on what Mr. Mobile decides he's gonna do.
Oh, child,
So,
please. I'm going to make sure you watch this.
911. And while we're talking about calling 911, we're also talking about calling Pam Bondi to Congress, where she had to speak to Congress, said about the Epstein files, and things didn't go well.
Yes.
Or maybe they did. Depends on you if you're Donald Trump or not.
So
Our
she's
royal roast.
connected to Donald Trump, so that means by way she's an idiot. So the Attorney General Pam Bondi, she gave a combative testimony to the House Judiciary Committee last week, and she talked a little bit about the stock market, and to deflect questions about Jeffrey Epstein, she started to talk about the stock market, and as she was saying it, she was talking about the Dow. Now, for those of you who know a little toot and a little tat about the Dow and the stock market, you know that it is in the form of points and not dollars. And so, to Pam Bondi's defense, there is no defense.
There is
She's
no
a dumb
defense.
bitch. She was yelling, the Dow is down $50,000. And everyone then began to erupt in laughter. And she was like, I don't know what you think is funny. And everyone is still laughing because it hasn't dawned on her that the Dow is not calculated in dollars, it's calculated in points. And this is just a further example of how completely idiotic anyone who is attached to Donald Trump is. They are the low of the low, the scum of the scum. And in the words of our former president, my president,
Your president.
Barack Obama, when you get to the top and you sit with these motherfuckers, he didn't say motherfuckers, but I'm calling them motherfuckers. When you get to the top and you sit with these motherfuckers, you realize they really ain't all that. Pam Bondi included. So I took it upon myself to write Pam a message.
Okay.
And I told Pam, there's Peter Thomas Roth, there's Estee Lauder, there's Pat McGrath. You should try all three because you look like the damn scarecrow.
I do indeed love some Peter Thomas Roth, and I'm glad that you mentioned his products. They do.
So funny.
Let me find out we use the same products. Although I don't, I do care about skincare. The Pam Bondi testimony was an embarrassment. It was highly unprofessional, and it was a huge disappointment. And I did not know this. I don't know if my viewers know this. You may know this. Many people probably don't, though. Pam Bondi's father was a legendary Florida Democrat. He was a history maker in the field of education. He was one of the people that created the first middle school model for the schools in Florida. Very wealthy man who was a mayor in that portion of Florida where they are from, and a Democrat. And some people are even saying that if he was alive today, how disappointed he might be in his daughter. But I can't say he might, that's true, because a lot of old Democrats are now Republicans, right? Yeah. So I don't know that if that's the case.
Do you think,
but I'm very disappointed that, she would disrespect
What do y'all think
Congress.
People in other countries be saying about this? They probably think we so dumb.
They absolutely do, and it's an embarrassment to the international stage. But hopefully...
They think we dumb in Brazil.
Everyone,
it's an international joke that
it's a joke.
Americans are so focused within themselves that they lack larger picture. Like, you guys are not known to be intelligent in general. Yeah, just like egocentric is the norm.
The American way.
If you consume media anywhere, that's what we said. But do you think some people would like international media?
Damn.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It's pretty sad because I live here now and these consequences like to my life. But some people in the internet have been saying about the FBI director and her that they are so in depth now in this problem that they have no other choice than try to deflect. But what are you, well, especially you that you're so connected to politics and you understand much more than I do to American politics. Do you think there was anything they could have done to save their asses?
No, not at this point. Like they are beholden. They made a choice. They've made a choice to be a part of this administration, and they are going to have to see it through. And at the end, they'll probably get pardoned. They'll get a presidential pardon. He's probably going to pardon every single person in any way associated with him in huge, massive blanket pardons, and they'll be off scot-free. But the reality is that everybody in America can't be pardoned. He's going to pardon a number of people, and those two, they'll be safe. But people that are working for them, people that are doing the dirty work, people that are failing to redact appropriately, people who are lying and shifting and hiding information, they will probably go under. Right now, they're unknown. But they will be found out one day by an effective administration, I hope, and they will have to suffer the consequences. That's why it is so important that we get a Democratic candidate for president who is going to hold people accountable across the board, who isn't going to let this part of history be swept under the rug.
And who do you
because
think
they're not there yet. I mean, I know who I'm supporting, and I'm going to support till she says I'm not running. That's Kamala Harris. Until Vice President Harris says I'm not running, she is my candidate. She is a person who I'm believing in, and she is a person who I know will hold them accountable, because she knows how this shit works. I do not believe in my heart that Gavin Newsom is going to hold anybody accountable, because I think that Gavin Newsom is a part of the exact same system that these people are from and operates from the same moral compass. And that's what I believe. That's what I believe. I firmly believe that the Democratic president has to come in here and has to really do all the background work and hold these people accountable, because we are where we are now because too many people that have done bad things have been able to get off. We did not hold Donald Trump accountable for January 6th insurrection at the level in which he should have been held accountable. Look at what you did in Brazil to your president. Look at what the laws on the books, like you talked about last week. In Brazil, it is illegal to be racist or homophobic. You cannot be racist or homophobic in public. It's illegal. We don't have any laws like that because we don't take the shit seriously. We don't really care about racism or homophobia or any of the ills in this country they care about in Brazil. That's a part of the problem. When the Civil War happened, these motherfuckers who were traitors to the Union were not held accountable. They were instead compensated for the loss of property. America has fucked up time and time again, and it has to end with the next president and the accountability that has to be put into place, or it's only going to get worse. We've lost huge parts of American democracy. We've lost huge parts of American progress, and and there's only more to lose if we lose in 2028. Now, we end, of course, by always giving a queen a crown, and I am so excited about this crown. Listen, we are all getting older, and there are many people out there, especially in the world of athletes, in the world of entertainment, in the world of the big dream, who thinks that once you reach a certain age that your dream has passed you by, that your time has come and that your time has gone. And that is what makes the story of Elena Mayes Taylor, age 41, Atlanta resident, so inspiring. She has participated in multiple, I want to say 5 Olympic Games in search of her gold medal. And this motherfucker ain't never won shit. Has never won. But she never gave up. She stayed in shape. She kept going. And this year, at the Milan Games, Elena Mayes Taylor, age 41, at the age of 41, the oldest woman in the games, won an Olympic gold medal for the monobob. And it was a beautiful, it was a beautiful, beautiful moment for her. And she stopped mid-cry to tell her son she loved him and say, "Mommy won," via sign language, because her son is deaf, and she was thinking that maybe he was watching and didn't know what had happened, and she stopped in the middle of the celebration to sign to her son to let him know she won, because he maybe was watching and not aware that she won, or not aware that she had an accident, and all of